The heart of our missions is that God will be glorified and the others will know the grace of God who has called us. Learn how God is using the lives of people like you and like me to expand His kingdom. This is Between Brothers.
There we go. All right.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. It's going really, really well.
Good. Okay, let's start with your name and where you're from.
Marlon Vogt, Iowa.
Nice. Vogt's a fun last name.
German.
Okay. Is it spelled V-O-T-E?
V-O-G-T.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Silent G.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And from where did you say? Iowa?
Iowa.
Iowa. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. How long have you been coming down to South Texas?
This is our 5th year,
Okay.
so 5 years.
Cool. Very cool. And what keeps you coming back here?
The community of the Winter Volunteers and the mission of the school, and the super clear way that the Winter Volunteers contribute to the mission of the school and what Rio Grande is all about. It would be tough to miss it.
I feel like I'm gonna move this over just a little bit.
Okay.
Normally you shouldn't do that in the middle of recording. We're doing it anyway. Okay. I feel like you've gotten a little bit more involved maybe than your average winter volunteer. Is that true, or is that just...
Feels like it, I think. And I don't know if it was by design or if that's just God's plan, but yeah, probably that's true.
What is there any other function you're filling besides just winter volunteer?
Yeah, I think probably being on the board
There you go.
of the college.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
I feel like you're definitely in deep with the mission of the ministry if you got put on the board of directors.
Yeah, it's been a blessing to be a part of that and seeing maybe in more depth what God's doing and
You get to see the big picture.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So with more, that's the blessing. You know, there is more responsibility, but you also get to see more of what God's doing.
Yes, I think that's accurate.
I can identify with that. Like the more responsibility I get, it's like, okay, I'm responsible for more, but I also get to see what's happening with all these other parts that before I weren't really
See how it
visible
all
to
fits
me.
together,
Yeah.
and God's doing different things all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
And to be kind of at the front end of that is pretty enjoyable to see, oh, that really wasn't the plan. This is the plan. So now we pivot and, go accordingly and see what He's got along this path.
Right. Okay. I'm sure there's lots of testimonies we could talk about there, but the question right now is, where has the Lord been speaking to you from His Word? That is the question.
Yeah. That's maybe the way to start. As board members, we got Larry's his commentary on Galatians, and it's all about freedom and not being locked into legalism and stuff like that. The way I look at that, though, is kind of in the recent past when we looked ahead toward retirement and having a purposeful retirement. We've got freedom to do lots of things as retirees, generally speaking. If you have your health, if you can afford to do whatever, there's a lot of options out there. But I guess the verse that sticks out to me is in 1 Corinthians, it says, all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. All things are lawful, but not all things edify.
Right. Is that chapter 6? Where is that?
10:23, I
10.
think.
Okay.
But that one we purposefully thought a lot about what retirement might look like and how we could do more than just, pick up seashells on the beach.
Have you read John Piper?
That's exactly the one that "Don't Waste Your Life" was a monumental impact on our thinking. So yeah, it's not about seashells. And
how long ago did you read that?
Well,
read that book?
Probably 7 or 8 years ago. our youth director, when we were working in youth ministry, had all of the volunteers that were working with him read that as a group, as a team. So it was a number of years before we were going to retire. But that kind of set the table for, let's be purposeful about this. And it's not about seashells. And you can see all the examples of what seashells look like on social media with other retirees. And that was probably what got us thinking about what's purposeful and then what aligns with our interests. Plus we had, Kronbergs, and they've been down here a long time. And my wife's sister and brother-in-law were here.
Okay.
Previously, and had a series of years here. And so we knew a lot about Rio Grande as an option. That played a part in it too. Why wouldn't we just do that and give that a try? And the rest is kind of history.
Okay. So, but it was, that book, along with the Word of God, that really got you guys thinking, like, let's be purposeful about this, not just go any which way.
I did a word study on work, which is crazy. How many times the Bible talks about God as a worker. We are designed to be workers. They worked in the Garden of Eden, will be working in heaven. It's not a bad thing. Work is not a result of the curse.
Yeah.
And we decided that... okay, so as long as we can do something, we should do something purposeful.
Yeah.
And as you get older, things change, obviously. And you can't do as much, you can't do it as well or with as much energy, but you can do something, even if it's just pray. So that was kind of the thing that reinforced that, it's just because I'm retired doesn't mean that purposeful work stops. And then I tried to find fun and retirement and leisure in the Bible, and I didn't find much of it. So add those two things together, and it kind of steered us in a particular direction.
Okay, so let's go with that a little bit. I want to get to why is work here worth it. But first, just again, most of our culture would say, you've earned your retirement. You've done the work. Now you get to slow down and take it easy. Why is it worth it on a personal level? One part is obedience. Right. But why is it worth it on a personal level to you to keep working, to keep investing your strength, your abilities, in a way that is not always. It's not always easy, right? It's
correct.
This is a fun place to live.
Sure.
But it does take work. It does take intentionality. So on a personal level, what have you, in these 5 years, discovered that has made it worth continuing to work?
Yeah, you're right. It's work, and as you get older, it's physically, tiring and challenging, but I think you said it. It's obedience. What can we do? That's purposeful. And then once you pick that path, and you end up somewhere like here, then. So we thought we'd come down, and for a couple months, January, February, every year we would volunteer here, and we'd work, and we do. But there's the community of the other like-minded volunteers, winter volunteers. That's a community, close friends. We pray, with each other, we socialize with each other. That's amazing. That part of it. Then there's the students, and you get to know the students and the faculty, and hear their stories. And see very clearly how you're contributing to their journey and their spiritual path and their calling. And it's where else would you want to be when you add those all up and into one whole? It's maybe there's other places where all those things can fall into line, but Rio Grande is a pretty good place for all of those to be a pretty key part of the experience.
So the purpose, first reason is obedience, but then you get to experience the blessings along the way. Community, purpose, seeing God at work through the students in ways you wouldn't have gotten to. So I'm hearing the blessings. Now, so that's answering the why here. That's answering part of the why here, right? But now, talk to me about what you see God doing that makes the investment here worth it. Because you could help build homes for people in a lot of places. You could help run a pantry or do different things in a lot of different places for different communities. What about this ministry makes this exciting for you?
I think, well, you're right. And in Rio Grande, when we talk to people, it's like the encouragement is, do something that's purposeful. In retirement, encourage that. And like you said, there's many other ministries, some even similar to Rio Grande, that are valid, that provide purpose and a why for people. That we just landed here, and once you've been here, it's a hard habit to break because you said it. You see God at work every day. We've thought about. And we hear this among other winter volunteers. We've got closer friends, Christian friends here than we have in our home churches. Often. Back home. Because we're spending so much time every day, every week with each other for the same purpose that we don't have back home. And that just provides the closeness and the community that's hard to build other places. So that's, I don't know if it's unique to here.
And how would you describe what the winter volunteers and the staff and the missionaries, everyone here, is helping fuel as far as what God is doing in the world to build His church?
Well, yeah, the whole purpose of Rio Grande is to equip students to go and serve and take the gospel around the world.
Right.
And so we see that preparation, we see how hard they work, their dedication, what they've sacrificed to be here financially or their careers or whatever. And then when we see that going on, and then you see how, not necessarily every day, but regularly, how God is answering prayers and providing direction and vision for both Rio Grande and individuals. It's amazing to directly see that happening. Not so much always in other spheres of where we live. It seems like it's heightened here, and maybe that's a way to put it.
I guess the way I see it is we're all called to be salt and light in our communities. But here we have a community that's very purposefully sending salt and light into all places of the world, whether it be unreached people groups or Latin Americans need pastors and church planters, or even in the Valley where we need Spanish bilingual churches. We need a specific type of pastor that can pastor the adults in Spanish and the youth in English. So it's like a hub of missions work that we're helping fuel here, right?
Yeah, and there's goers, and the students are going to be goers, and the doers. And as you get older, it's harder to go. But you're either, what was it? Was it Piper that said you're either a goer or sender, or you're disobedient?
Or a disobeyer.
Disobeyer.
Yeah.
And so as senders, this is a great way to contribute as a sender, but then also experience in depth what else is going on to that. You're just not sending a contribution every month to somebody.
Right, which is important.
It is.
Prayers and finances is important, but here there's another level of holding the ropes, like William Carey said, of those who are going, is like, we're helping keep the electricity and the water and helping this campus continue to prepare the people who are going out, so that they have the training and the foundation they need. And I
think it's the personal connection that is often missing. Like, we support many missionaries, and we know them, and we get their updates, but we don't, have sing and share with them. We don't experience the Festival of Nations with them. We don't see them on campus and horse around with them and get to know them and have meals together. The same with the faculty, and that's part of what makes it different.
Right, we get to live together.
Yeah, and you said William Carey?
Yeah. Well, I think he was the one that said, I'll go down in the well if you hold the ropes.
Yeah, the other thing that he said that really challenges me, let me see if I can think of it. Oh, there's a lot of freedom. There's a lot of freedom. And it's not sin. But is it purposeful? And he made a statement that he wasn't afraid of failure, but what he was afraid of was being successful at things that don't matter.
Wow.
Chew on that, baby, for a while.
Yeah.
And right here, you see what we're doing matters.
Right.
And that makes all the difference in the world.
And even when we fail at what we were trying to do, like you said at the beginning, we see the Lord say, well, this was the plan all along. You failed at that, but I'm using it to further my purposes.
Yep. And in 5 years, I can't believe what do you want to say? The mission hasn't changed, but the vision,
the strategies,
the strategy, and how God's changing and the extension sites and the outreach to the students in the valley, and high school students,
and you have a front row seat for all of that.
I know.
You get detailed reports about this is what's going on. Now let's make a decision.
Yeah, and that the previous, and so for example, at the previous board meeting, that wasn't even on the radar screen.
Wow.
And then we come back and it's like, oh, guess what's happening?
Wow.
Look what God is doing. How are we going to respond?
Right.
Very exciting.
So this has jumped from don't waste your life and all things are permissible, but not all things are helpful, to a live with purpose video, recruitment for the Lord's kingdom video.
Kind of. Sorry.
No, that's good.
Sorry.
I want to take it a little step further, because you have taken that step further. You're beyond just a winter volunteer. We're in. We have a hard time recruiting here sometimes. The Lord sends us the people we need, but we're in recruiting mode right now. We have campuses opening north and south. We need workers. What would you say to someone who's not retired yet? Why would it be worth it to work in one of these places? I don't know if you have that, if you've thought about that or that perspective, because I was just thinking about this morning. It's one thing to come and volunteer your time. It's another thing to come and this is your full-time occupation and where you're trusting the Lord to sustain you here. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about that part?
We've sort of recruited two couples from back home that were heading into retirement and knew we were coming down here, so we've met with them and kind of tried to share the vision of what's going on here. But then our suggestion is always just come and visit.
Right.
Spend a week or two down here, because we can't really describe the whole picture of what you'd experience when you see what's going on. And that, for us, was important. We came down 6 years ago for 2 weeks and got to experience it before we were retired and before we made the decision. But after we were down here, it's like, well, that's obvious. We need to do that. And then for like full-time staff, professors, and so forth, as you get to know them and hear their stories, I mean, that's the strongest argument for why you'd want to be involved even at that level, because there's sacrifice and hard work in that role as well. And I mean, some of the staff and faculty have been here a long time, and they're not getting rich
Right.
monetarily, but
Right.
spiritually,
Right.
they're in it to win it, and love the students and are as dedicated as you find anywhere.
All right. Anything else you were wanting to say about what the Lord's taught you over these last 5 years, or anything at all before we wrap up?
No, I think it's just if you're willing to be used,
That's part of it.
make that commitment, and then just see what God does.
Right.
And it may look a lot different than what you were thinking.
Right. The Lord shows us we're not in the driver's seat, actually.
That's okay.
Right.
We see, the leadership of the college isn't in the driver's seat either.
Right.
And it's and that's okay. So.
Praise the Lord. All right. Thank you. This podcast is a part of Rio Grande Bible Ministries. If you want to learn more about the Bible College, that's in Spanish, the language school to learn Spanish, the radio station, or Bibleville, or any of the other ministries of Rio Grande, find us at riogrande.edu. That's our website, riogrande.edu. And if you want to interact with the podcast, if you want to ask questions, give us feedback, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, searching for Entre Hermanos. Make sure to add Rio Grande to your search, and we will be the first ones to show up. Thank you for listening to our podcast, Entre Hermanos, which means Between Brothers.